Welcome to Local History, Legends, and Lore. I'm Julie Lugo, Cerra, your host, and today we have Gus Prado, who is truly the American dream. Gus, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here, Julie.
Tell us a little bit about your life, just from the beginning.
Well, my life from the beginning, I can tell you, of course, I'm originally from Cuba. And when I was about 16, 17 years old, the situation in Havana was getting really bad for the young people. So my father decided to send me to a military school in Lebanon, Tennessee, where I was there for 2 years. It was a great experience for me. It was the first time that I would be able to be with the American culture and met a lot of the things. This is my family. You can see in my family there were 6 girls. My father has 6 girls, and after that I came in. So my father went crazy when I was born. He used to have a store, and that day people in the neighborhood used to say me, when you were born, your father was giving all the items away. They didn't charge nothing to the people who was coming to the store.
The first boy.
So I was spoiled for a while, I guess. But I'm very proud of my family. So I was in a vacation in Havana from the military school when Castro came over. And I was very excited with the revolution in the beginning. I thought it was going to be something nice for the whole country. And I told my father I want to stay. I didn't want to go back to school. And he said, no, you cannot go back to school because we cannot allow, the government don't allow send any more dollars to the United States. So I stayed in Cuba for about a year, half a year, and my father told me, you know what, better leave the country. I don't like this. He was very smart that way. He knew what he was coming. So I came as a refugee and with nothing. So I called the school and I told her that I couldn't be able to get back to school, but I want to sell all my uniforms that I left in there. They were pretty expensive. So with that money, I bought a car and then I came to California. The reason, don't ask me why I lined up in Culver City, but one of the reasons my father had
this was the uniform that you...
That was that I was in the military school. That was one of my
was
military
some hair in military
uniform.
School, guy.
Was pretty young, eh? So I sold all the uniform and I got some money. We bought a little car and I lined up in Culver City because my father has a friend that worked at the airport. So I stayed in his house for a few days, and he got me a job doing some construction work for a while. So I lined up in Culver City. I rented a place in Culver City, and we didn't have much, but this people spread the word around, and all the neighborhood was helping all with a chair, with this and that. And believe me, it's one of those situations that I feel like I own a lot to Culver City. I met my wife in Culver City, Cuba, and that's my family. That's my wife and the 3 kids that I had in the beginning. I lost one of the kids when he was 13 years old.
I remember that.
Okay, then in that time, the Culver City, they used to be coming, a lot of the Cubans come to Culver City because the Cuban like to be near the beach, you know. So in that way, it was very attractive, Culver City, to the Cuban community. And that group, and we have a Cuban club, and I made the first comparsa, what we call. Comparsa is a dancing group of the really Cuban music. And with that comparsa, I was trying to spread our Cuban culture to the American people in Culver City. And we want to get involved with the Americans in Culver City, and we, you know, I owe so much to this country because they opened the hands for me, so I have, you know, I was trying to pay it back. So we got involved with the community, and I became president of the Chamber of Commerce, and in my year we survived without the fund because the city had to cut the funds of the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, I think that's something along the line of history repeating itself.
Right, and then what we have to do, when I was under my year, we have to raise some money, and so we went out and make a campaign to get more members of the Chamber of Commerce, and I went to the Hispanic community. We say, you got to get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, and we got a lot of new members, and I try to do a lot of programs and stuff like that. I would be able to get the chamber more active.
How did you become the owner of the sign company?
The owner of the sign company, well, I was a student of a commercial art all the time. And then I graduated from Los Angeles Trade Tech.
I see.
And I liked that kind of, and I thought the design business, I saw that there was a lot of future in there for me. That's why I decided to get involved in the design business in Culver City.
So then you started your first store in Culver City?
Yeah, that was the first Culver City. This picture you see in there was a Welcome to Casino Caper Cuban Connection. It was a casino caper night that we got a lot of people that came to that place. That's the decoration that we did in there, and we raised a lot of money that year. And I always had the Cuban culture with me that I want to show my culture to the American people. And then after a while, the mayor of the city called me that he wants to recommend me to become a commissioner for the Human Relations Commission. So I got involved in that, and I had the idea to say, okay, there's a lot of people in Culver City from different countries. Why don't we put something together that people will be able to show the music, the food, and everything. So I decided to put a festival together. We call it, in this day, we call it Festival of the People. That's some picture in there. You see some of the firefighters in Culver City that was participating in there. That's me and my wife and my 3 kids also. That I have my sport car in there that we went because we got a parade. That's Miss Culver City in there. And then on that festival, we got groups from different ethnic that they were able to show the music, the food, and stuff like that. So it was really something to put the whole community together.
Now that was kind of an outgrowth of the Fiesta La Bayona, which was actually a celebration.
Right. Well, Fiesta La Bayona was on the old time, but we didn't have that for a long, long time.
This is a photograph of one of the early fiestas.
Original Fiesta La Bayona.
They even had a kiddie parade.
So we did something like that, and then we decided to change the name of the Festival of the People because there was a pokey in those days also.
That was in 1951, the first fiesta, and that's in front of City Hall.
We did. That's the pocket of my year. That's me in there with a gun.
They still have the pokey in.
It's amazing. By the way, the one is there is your husband. I got him in yellow. It's amazing. I used to go to Culver City to a bank with a cowboy outfit and with a really gun inside the bank and go to the manager of the bank, the president of the bank, and said, "Come over. I got to put you in jail." And if you do that today, can you manage to do?
No, I don't think so.
But on those days, you will be able to do something like that. So we did that as a publicity. We took the pokey and then go around town so people say, what's going on? And then we was announcing the festival was coming that week.
Originally, the pokey was used in such a way that everybody dressed up because of Fiesta La Bayona days.
Right.
And if you didn't dress up, they used to grab you and throw you in the pokey.
Right, that's right. You go to the bank and you see somebody is wearing, something with the festival for the, and then you used to say, come on in and, get inside and put, and then we should take even at the city hall, we used to take some of the city hall people and the police department and then just drove them around town in the pokey and that.
Sure, you have in there. Not only do you have salmon engineering, you have the city engineer, I can see.
And here I am with the gun.
And there you are. Oh boy, look at that.
Yeah,
that was, in fact, you brought the poster from that, I think.
Yeah, that's one of the posters. This festival started in 1976, and I was involved for about 8 years. Then after that, I burned out really, and I have too many other things that take care that I wasn't the chairman anymore. But
I'm looking at this,
and that we did.
I'm thinking that on the top row, you've got a picture with Best Dressed, with whom I served on the school board with a mustache on.
You're right.
And little Bertha Quirarte, who came from Mexico originally. Her son served on the school board with me at one time, and with Bess, I believe. So you had quite a group, and then down here you had the Queen and her court.
Culver City.
Okay, all right, and they still had floats.
Yeah, and then you have it used to be a parade that we had before the festival.
Right, and this is later in 1983. When did you head the Festival of the People? What years?
Well, we started in 1976. We started, and then I was involved for about 8 years.
I see.
And then after 3 or 4 years, you know, like I told you, we changed the name to become again the Fiesta La Bayona. That was more Culver City. It was the name more attracted to Culver City, and the festival is still going. I'm proud of
It
that.
absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. It makes a
So-
few changes here and there.
Then that picture in there, people thought I was crazy in putting money in downtown Culver City. I bought a building in there on the corner of Washington and Irving, right where Washington meets Culver Boulevard. It used to be an old pool hall.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought that building, and you know, I was my business was on Washington Boulevard, more going to the east side, but I need a bigger place, so I decided to move to downtown Culver City.
And what year was that?
It
that in
was
this-
about 20 years ago,
Okay.
more or less.
So in the 80s?
And yeah, and I remember I used to making signs in there. I used to see this guy coming over with a stick to play billiard in there. And then he looked around. He said, "What happened here? You know, it's no more." So I understand was a very famous place. You know, it used to be one of the biggest players used to play in there.
There was a bowling alley and a pool hall and Mary Evelyn's Donuts on the corner.
But you can see now downtown Culver City where it is. I was lucky that you know, I moved in that moment, and we very. But you know, I'm so proud of Culver City all the time that I have to get involved. I used to get involved. I was involved with the Lions Club. I was president of the Lions Club.
Were
We
you?
have a breakfast club in the morning.
Okay.
Then I got involved with the YMCA and with the Chamber of Commerce. I got involved with the Sister City Committee when you do the
Sure.
Also, we went to Kaisuka, we went to Erie City. And that's one of the things that happened in Culver City. I was in my office. You can see myself in there, and you see on the clouds in top is the silhouette of Cuba. It was a windy day. There was a lot of cloud in there, and I was in my office. I was on the telephone. I was under a lot of pressure that day. And then I finished up my call. I look up like that, and I see this thing on the air. I start yelling, "Evelio, Evelio!" Evelio is one of the fellows that worked with me from Cuba. And he thought that I got a heart attack or something. I was yelling. He got into the office. I said, "Oh my God, Cuba, get the camera!" And then we went across the street to get the camera, but the building across the street was blocking someone. Then I went to the top of my building. We took a ladder and went up top, and then took some picture, and that's the picture that we took in there, and of Cuba. So it's amazing because Culver City was in Los Angeles. The first group of Cubans that moved to Los Angeles was in Culver City. The first Cuban club was in Culver City, Cuba Sport Club. That's what I have my group of dancers that I put together. One of the first restaurants was El Rincón Criollo, that is still existing on Sepulveda.
On Sepulveda,
That
sure.
was the first Virgin of La Caridad that was in Culver City. Now, that's my building after the remodeling that we did, called it Prado Plaza. That's what I have my business, and there is a restaurant also there. And on that building, there is a mural that has a lot to do with Culver City and myself. Because I remember the studios, Desilu Studio used to be in Culver City, you know, just a couple of blocks
It's
away.
now the Culver Studios.
But see, people always, Hollywood used to get the credit of the Desilu Studio. So I decided to go ahead and get this mural where you can see Desi Arnaz and Lucia Wolf getting out of the Culver Studio, and I put in that Desilu Studio, Culver City, with the address. So the people know it was Culver City, not Hollywood. Because, you know, Culver City is the heart of the screen line, and we have to promote that, and we are proud of that. You
That's
see.
right. That's right.
So it's really, I got a lot of things to, and I have a lot of things to God, because God gave me a beautiful family, and that's all it counts with me right now. It's my family, and that's all you're gonna take with you. You know, the good memories and
Sure.
stuff like that.
Sure. Who did the mural? I should have asked you.
I designed it. And there was a fellow that is the name is in there also that work on the mirror and some of my employees. And
Well, I knew you were a very
together.
talented artist, so I thought you had.
I know we have something in common. I remember I used to see you, that of stuff that you done. So that's that. I still involved in the community. I still involved with the Refugee Commission. I am still involved now with the Selective Service System. I am on the board. I represent California. I don't make any money, but it's something that I do that I have to get involved and still paying back, everything that this country did for me.
Well, you certainly have done a lot for the country as well.
Well, I'm trying to do my best, and I'm trying to tell my grandchildren and everything what happened to me in the beginning and stuff like that, so I really...
So tell me how you met your wife.
Okay. When we Cubans start getting around the Culver City area, we are in the market and you see somebody speak Spanish like Cuban, you go over there and say, "Are you Cuban?" "Oh, yes." "Oh, are you in Culver City?" "Oh, yes." And then, a couple of days they get together. And then my sister met my wife when she was 13 years old, 14 years old. And then I met her. And we fell in love. And we were 4 years and engaged for 4 years. And so that's my wife in there, and I'm lucky to have those 3 kids. I lost one, but believe me, God sometimes take away and put it back. I just had a grandson, which was born the same day that he died. So, God take away some time and then give it back to you, and I'm so proud of that. And,
that was Michael?
Now my grandchildren are my therapy. Anytime I get a lot of pressure, I look at a picture of them, and I say, it's not worth to get worried about it. I find out they're healthy.
I think you must have the biggest vest pocket of anybody I know, because everybody knows that whenever we run into you when we're walking around downtown, if we ask to see a picture of the grandchildren, you have a stack, which is pretty nice.
Here they are.
And here are some.
Those are from my son. He got 3 of them, and that's from my daughter, and that's my therapy. Like I say, it's a lot of fun. That's the new one, the one on the corner, that was born the same day that I lost my children, my own son. And so I can't complain, I can't complain, because I have a lot of good memories, and even so, my family lost everything in Cuba and everything, and now all the good thing is coming back to us, and I still think in this country that we don't know what we have. Most of the Americans, they don't know, they take this country for granted.
I'm sure you're right.
We don't appreciate what we have, but this is the best in the whole world, this system. We are not perfect, nobody's perfect, but that's the way I feel.
Well, thank you. I think that's wonderful. Tell us what you see for the future of Culver City.
I see in the future Culver City is getting more business coming in, more studios coming in also. So that is going to help the community, and Culver City now people, about 20 years ago you used to go out of the state, and you say, "Where you coming from?" You say, "Culver City." "What's that?" "Culver City." I never know what Culver City now. Culver City now is getting prestige. They got the studio, they got good shopping center, and it's so close to the freeway, to the marina, and it's one of those places that they got the best school, best police department ever. I mean, I have to tell you something. One time, my wife and I, we have to go to San Diego early in the morning, and some stuff, I need to get some paperwork from my office. I went to my office, and it was maybe about 3 o'clock in the morning to get that paperwork. And I see these suspicion gang members in the outside on the telephone or something, and I didn't want to get out. I called the police department, and in two minutes, the police department were there. They opened the door for me. So they took me to my car. I say, it was so safe. And I said, my God, that's Culver City Police.
Yeah, they have an incredible response
yes.
time.
Not only the police department, the fire department, and they have a prestige, like the same thing with the schools in Culver City. We have such a prestige that grow up, and that means a lot for any community or something like that. So Culver City, I don't live in Culver City, but I do everything in Culver City. And the reason I moved, people thought I was getting so involved because I want to get in politics in Culver City. I say, I'm going to move out to show the people that I love Culver City, but I don't have any ambition to. Even so, I get involved with in politics and all like that. I'm a conservative. After what happened to me in Cuba, I don't take chances. And I try to be conservative, and I try to,
I think you should move back. I think you should move back and run for office.
No,
I think you'd have fun.
I like to get involved without having to. But anytime I see a person that he thinks like me and he's a conservative, I try to help them out as much as I can, because that's.
So now you've had gubernatorial appointments to different commissions.
Yes, I am with the refugees. I go to Sacramento once a month for meetings, and but I am in that group like an outsider. See, most of the commissioners, the people in there, they are involved with the program, with the thing in the program. I'm not in the program, but I look at the outsider, and I can see that most of the refugees that come now, sometimes we have too many services, too many programs, that I try to say, hey, the program that's going to work in here is to get that guy, that person to get a job right away and get on the mainstream, without having to go to. Sometimes I found, in some of the meetings that I can go to the school and I see this person as a refugee that he has been 5 years learning English. And I say, in 5 years, you can become a doctor in 5 years, You have to, get out of that program and try, you can learn English at nighttime, but then you get a job during the daytime. So I look at it as an outsider, and because I was a refugee, I know how it is and how the people feel. And I want to make sure that I keep an eye on it, that all the refugees that comes in, they love this country and they want that, because we don't want any enemies to become refugee and then they're going to work against this country. So that's and more in this time of the year that we live in. But I'm really proud of Culver City. This is.
Culver City's proud of you.
Yeah.
So you still maintain the work with the refugees, and your wife became a professional woman.
Yeah, she's a psychology, and she has with a TV program for a while, and she won an Emmy. After a few weeks that she was working on the TV, so I'm very proud of her. With her family, very proud of that, and she's good. She's good. She's really good. So.
And she graduated from St. Bernard's, as I recall.
Right. And then she got. We have been involved also through her with the American Cancer Society.
I see.
In name of my son that passed away with cancer, we got involved with American Cancer. We got a group they call Hermanos en la Lucha contra el Cáncer, which we have been raised money for the American Cancer Society with different events. We used to bring very, very famous stars to this event and raise money for the American Cancer Society in the name of the Hispanic. We want all the Hispanic to get involved and help out the community, and so that's.
So your philosophy is basically that you want people who come to this country to become a part of the country.
Right, yeah,
to be
to
productive.
Get involved. That's the whole idea. But to retain yeah,
their
I hate when somebody
well.
come to this country and they hate this country. So what you doing in here then, And everything they make, they send it out. You got to get involved and, feel proud where you are.
Did you have any of your sisters or your brother come to this country?
Oh, yeah, all of them, they're here. I lost a good sister. I lost her. Of cancer also, but the rest of I have a brother in Miami, and I have a sister in Miami, and I have another sister in Miami, and the rest are here in California, and we all, we keep the family together and try to help each other.
And your son and daughter live in California as well?
Yes, they live in Orange County. I have to drive all the way down there, but I love it. I just can't wait.
And how many children do each of them have?
Okay, I have 5 grandchildren. My daughter has 3, and my son has 2. And I don't know, maybe he's looking for another one. I don't know, but
sounds like Grandpa's looking
when you
for
got
another one.
grandson, you enjoy more that you do your student. You student, sometimes you gotta work a lot for the future. You gotta pay the school, and you gotta have with your granddaughters and grandson. You just play with them, give them a kiss, give them to mom, say bye bye. You don't have to worry about it that much, but still I worry about the
sounds
future
like
anyway. But it's a lot of fun.
So you're going to go to the fiesta this year?
Oh yeah. Sometime I have been. Sometime on the weekend I go out and see my son, my grandson, and that's a priority. But this year I'm planning to stop by and take a look, and it come a lot of memory to me.
And you
during
still
the fiesta.
maintain your membership in the Chamber of Commerce?
Of course, yeah, I'm still involved, and we're still involved with the Downtown Business Association. Also, they're doing a good job, and get Culver City
And you have a
going.
building across the street too, is that
Right, that's gonna become. I listen, it's gonna become a nice place for the kind of the honey chicken, and I'm very proud of the couple because they have been really involved with Culver City also. So and they brought the product to the Culver City Chamber Expo. I was out of town, but they really liked the product, and so we really looking forward.
So we'll have a
To work
new
with
food
them. And
opportunity
it's a great
in
couple.
downtown.
It's a great couple with people in there.
Okay.
So Culver City is like a family, We try to help each other, and
That's a good philosophy to have.
Yeah.
That's a good philosophy to have. Well, I have to tell you, it's been a wonderful experience to have you here today.
well, it's a pleasure. Being with you becomes so many memories to me also because we have been involved in a lot of this stuff.
We have way too much fun in this community,
Yeah,
don't
it's
we?
a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I call it the Culver City Condominium Committee. They're
That's a
the
good one.
fabulous 400 who you see every place.
That's a good
So it's a whole bunch of fun. We all need heroes, and we all need mentors, and I think that you are probably both of those to everyone. So I want to thank you again, and keep up the good work.
Pleasure.
And keep having a
Well, I
good time,
try.
and I don't know how you could have more energy, but
Well, I try.
continued good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gus.
Pleasure.